Along with individual experts, Surgeon Masters brings you life improvement strategies in 10 minutes. These proven principles and strategies are easy to learn and can be applied immediately, allowing you to practice your best. Here's your host, Jeff Smith.
On this episode of the Surgeon Masters mini podcast, I have with me Dr. Richard Berry, a retired orthopedic surgeon from Northern California. Rich has a background in the military, the Air Force, with a lot of service in that direction, but also then coming into orthopedics and being involved. I think Rich and I probably first met through the California Orthopedic Association, and he's had leadership roles in that area. And we've had a lot of really fun conversations, some parts of which I'd love for Rich, for you to share with our audience, our Surgeon Masters audience. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. It's a real honor to join you as a guest. I'm a big fan of the podcast, and I've really enjoyed the very thoughtful discussions you've led over the years. It was really good to reconnect with you at the California Orthopedic Association down south in May.
Awesome. And we spoke there at that meeting, and you mentioned you have something that aligns with other surgeons, not just orthopedic surgeons, that about our families.
Yeah, when we spoke at the COA meeting, I mentioned that I recently ran into a longtime friend and orthopedic colleague who was undergoing a divorce. My wife and I had met his wife and kids at a number of meetings over the years. I was moved by his pain and recalled the trauma of my own divorce several years after residency, nearly 40 years ago. I believe it's useful to think of divorce as a preventable occupational disease, which affects approximately 25% of our surgeon colleagues. The incidence is higher for women surgeons with an odds ratio of 1.5. The impact of divorce extends far beyond our workforce to disrupt families, forever changing the lives of surgeons, spouses, and their kids. Like considering any disease, I think we should look at predisposing factors, two of the most significant of which are personal unavailability, work-life imbalance, and emotional unavailability, burnout.
I know that both of those impacted me, so I'm interested in learning more.
Interesting. So after our meeting, I kind of took a look at the literature and found a really striking recent paper by a guy named William Ayers from North Shore Health Systems in Evanston, Illinois. Ayers' paper was published in the April 2023 Journal of Neurosurgery. Interestingly, Ayers and his group sent surveys to the spouses or significant others of neurosurgical residents at 12 U.S. neurosurgical training programs. While the results are a really telling look at the impact of early career work-life imbalance and early onset burnout among surgeons in training, the lessons really apply to all of us. In terms of personal unavailability, 82% of spouses responding to Ayers' survey said that their resident significant other routinely worked more than the ACGME 80-hour maximum resident work week. 75% worked between 80 and 100 hours per week, and 11% worked over 120 hours per week. 30% of the residents were on call 4 or more days per week. We've all been there, done that. Ayers found that 73% of the resident significant others disagreed or strongly disagreed that their partner's work schedule leaves enough time for personal and family life. Many, if not most spouses, felt that their partner frequently returned from work irritated, preoccupied, or too tired to do things together. Alarmingly, nearly 1 in 5 of resident significant others acknowledged considering divorce or relationship termination within the last 12 months. Regarding emotional unavailability, we've learned that burnout is a stress-related condition that manifests with symptoms of emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and a decreased sense of personal accomplishment. The literature has shown us that burnout may be associated with medical errors and poor patient outcomes. Ayers' finding that 90% of resident significant others felt that their partner fell within the moderate to severe range of symptoms of burnout, and at least one of 3 Maslow burnout inventory subscales is especially worrisome. As Ayers points out, a partner's perception is just as salient as the resident's lived experience. The fact that Ayers was able to produce such alarming results with a questionnaire suggests that this is, at its essence, a communication problem between partners about work-life balance. Yet only 1 in 5 of the surgical training programs in Ayers' study had a wellness program which included the resident's spouse or significant others. The behaviors we've learned to survive with in residency do not just stop when we graduate.
It sounds like the literature supports what we kind of reflect back to.
Yeah, I think the clear experience and talking with friends over the years and personal experience shows us that the two most powerful factors mitigating against the failure of a relationship are personal introspection and honest communication. Beginning in residency and continuing into practice, we need to regularly reassess our own behavioral patterns, which could potentially lead to an increased risk of burnout and family disruption. Improved interpersonal communication is a teachable skill. Nearly 20 years ago, Drs. John Tung and Ramon Jimenez of the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons established a patient communication improvement program, which continues to be very successful to this day. We need to create wellness programs within our organizations which foster effective introspection and interpersonal communication skills in support of our fellows and their families. Being a surgeon is a family business. Have a candid, honest conversation with your spouse or a trusted partner about how things are going for both of you. Spouses have been there, done that, experiencing life at your side through all of the 2 a.m. phone calls from the emergency room and empathizing with your agonizing over outcomes. They understand. You need their insight. You and your spouse can have a significant positive leadership effect within your group, community, society, and associations. Encourage your spouse or significant other to reach out to other spouses as a sounding board for their frustrations. It's essential and very rewarding to involve your spouse or significant other in the social interactions of our profession. My wife and I continue to be socially involved with surgeons and their wives from a number of orthopedic organizations.
Fantastic. Keep sharing. Tell us what else you think our listeners can take home.
Again, thoughtful introspection and honest communication are the keys to balancing your professional commitments with your personal and emotional availability. Avoid unvoiced, unfulfilled expectations with your partner. Be present. Listen carefully. Encourage personal feedback, since, to paraphrase the poet Robert Burns, no greater gift that God could give us than to see ourselves as others see us. My own experience really bears these points out. After residency, I was in a full-time practice as a military orthopedic surgeon, which included overseas deployments. I was also working in an after-hours disability evaluation job during weekends to pay back medical school debts. Fortunately, I was privileged to work with an orthopedic physician assistant who had served as a Navy medic with the Marines in Vietnam. We had similar experiences. He encouraged me to seek care with the Veterans Administration. When I demurred, he said that I owed it to myself and my family to ask for help, since, as he put it, some gave all, but all gave some. He was really right. I had become completely unavailable to those who mattered most in my life. I believe that the deep emotional burden which follows stressful traumatic experiences is also present on a cumulative basis for the profession of surgery. Becoming a victim of burnout will never go well for any of us in the long run. Beyond the divorce rate, we've seen the dark side of the high suicide rate among orthopedic surgeons, the risk of which is 2.5 to 4 times higher for women physicians. There were at least 3 suicides among the small group of orthopedic surgeons practicing in our 2 local counties at the time. You can't possibly do it all. No is such a simple and important word.
No is a simple word.
I started off life as a pilot before I went to medical school, and I look upon things in kind of, say, aviation terms. And I think that success in life is like a successful flight. It's all about energy management and careful navigation. As in aviation, you only have a limited amount of time, effort, and energy available. Use them wisely. Savor the moment with those around you. Enjoy the journey. You will remember the last hug long after you've forgotten the last dollar. Check your course toward the important things in life with reference to those around you on a regularly irregular basis. Carefully avoid known high-threat areas. Avoid the territory of the 7 deadly sins. Temptation leans on doorbells. Communicate effectively. Be personally honest with yourself and ensure that you're truly available to those who count the most. Again, avoid unvoiced, unfulfilled expectations. Do not hesitate to ask for help. If you even think that you might need help, ask for help.
Thank you so much, Rich.
My pleasure.
There you have it. In less than 10 minutes, this is Jeff Smith, along with Dr. Rich Berry. Until the next episode of Life Improvement Strategies for the Surgeon Who Wants More. Ciao.
Now, take 10 minutes and put your plan into action to practice your best.